Welcome back, YouTube pipe smokers. Mutton Chop Piper here. Well, today's video is entitled, I'm ready to buy a new pipe. What do I look for? Alright, today we are going to talk about the things that you need to look for before you purchase a new pipe. I have gotten a lot of questions and a lot of comments about, hey, my pipe's doing this. Hey, I can't get my pipe to do this or that. So I felt it was important to do a video on inspecting a pipe before you purchase it. Now today we're just going to be talking about briar pipes. We're not going to be talking about meerschaum pipes or radiator pipes or corn cobs or clays. We're just going to be talking about briar. Now briar pipes can be purchased in many places. You can go to your brick and mortar store. They'll have a huge selection. You can purchase them online through vendors such as smokingpipes.com, pipesandcigars.com, cupofjoes.com. There are several online stores that you can purchase pipes. All right, today we're going to be talking about the two grades of briar. There may be others. There may be different grades of the second main grade that I'm going to talk about, but I'm just going to be talking about the two main grades of briar. The first one of those grades is called plateau. Now, plateau briar is practically flawless, and it has the most beautiful graining because it is a little bit denser than the second type of briar. So it gives you really good grain patterns, and it is just an all-around better piece of briar. Now those briars, pipes that are made out of that briar usually run, the prices are around $1,500 to $5,000, depending on, they can go higher as well, but depending on the graining and how beautiful it looks and other factors, those pipes are really expensive. The second type of briar I want to talk about is called Ebauchon. Ebauchon there's probably several different grades of Ebauchon, but that's what most of the pipes today are made of. Now, Ebauchon can have flaws. The graining is not as beautiful, but there are some Ebauchon pipes that are absolutely beautiful. Ebauchon also has a bird's eye and other particular things that make Ebauchon beautiful to work with. I don't think it's quite as dense, so it's a little bit easier to work with. And it can have some flaws. Now, let me say also that the majority of pipe artisans, those pipe makers that are on their own, and companies like Savinelli or Chacon or Peterson, they seek out the best briar that they can. And if they start to make a pipe and they encounter some flaws, they usually discard those pipes for those that are flawless. But you can encounter some flaws with Ebauchon type briar. All right, let's take a look at what we want to look at when we are purchasing a new pipe. Now, I'm going to be using as my prop today a Savinelli 320 Portocuervo author shape. So that's the first thing that you want to look for, is you want to make sure that the pipe is as advertised. If it's an author shape, it needs to be an author shape. If it's a bulldog, it needs to be shaped like a bulldog. This one is a author, and it is shaped like an author. The second thing you want to do is you want to look at the pipe overall to make sure that there's no damage. You don't want any pits or any holes or any scuff marks or any of that kind of thing. And this one looks pretty good. The next thing you want to do is you want to look at the finish. Make sure that there's no dull areas where it looks like the finish didn't take. You want to make sure that there's no spots, white or dark spots on the pipe. This comes into play more on a pipe that is smooth, made smooth than rusticated. Sometimes rusticated pipes come that way with spots, splotches, and lighter spots and darker spots. But for the most part, you want to make sure that the finish is uniform. All right, the next thing you want to do is you want to check the bowl. You want to look at the bowl to make sure that it is smooth and symmetrical. Now, the bowl can have two types of finishes. The first one is a natural briar finish, which that's kind of misleading because the briar needs to be bare. There should not be any finish or anything on the inside of that bowl. It should be just pure briar. The second type of finish, or the second type of finish that you want to look for, if you have one, this one is what's called precarbonized. And what is precarbonization? Precarbonization is where the maker takes ash and water and paints the inside walls of the bowl. And what that does is it helps with it helps the carbon adhere to the inside of the bowl. As you know, that's the one thing that your goal is to try to get the carbon built up on the inside of the bowl to protect it and to somewhat cool it. So this precarbonization helps with that process. So what I do is I usually take my finger and I just go along and make sure that there's nothing sticking out, nothing grabs my finger, there's no divots or anything, that it's nice and smooth. And this one is. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your stem is aligned with the bowl. And this one is. Okay? The next thing is you want to inspect the mortise and tenon. In order to do that, you have to separate the stem from the shank. Now, to do that, you use a twisting motion. Now, the fit should be snug. It shouldn't be way too hard, or it shouldn't be way too easy. It should be snug. So, let's give this one a try. Okay, it's nice and snug. Twist it to where it comes out. Okay, there you go. Now you want to check the mortise and tenon to make sure that there's no damage on either side. And you want to make sure that there's no adhesive that has kind of spilled out on the end here. Make sure that it's nice and smooth. And this one is. Alright, that looks good. So now you want to put the bit back on to the stem, or the stem onto the shank the same way that you took it off. Put it together, and then you want to twist it until it aligns. There you go. Now, if it's nice and snug going in and coming out, that's what you're looking for. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that the button looks really nice. The button looks well formed, and it feels like it's uniform. Also, you want to check to make sure that your hole here is uniform. There's not chips or anything that have come out of this slot right here. Now, you also want to make sure that the airway is aligned. The way you do that is you take a pipe cleaner and you send it down until it comes out of the bowl. Now, if it does that very easily without any without anything stopping it, just make sure that it goes in and out very smoothly, which this one does. Okay? Now, this next step is very important. There have been a lot of questions and a lot of comments from you viewers that have been upset because you're like, you know, this is happening to me and I don't understand what to do about it. So whenever you get ready to purchase a pipe, and this may sound strange, but it needs to be done. You need to smell the pipe. Now what you're looking for is you're looking for a really harsh chemical smell. If it's got a bad chemical smell, do not purchase the pipe. Make sure that your tobacconist knows that this pipe has got something wrong with it, that it has got a strong chemical smell and needs to be sent back to the maker. If you purchased your pipe from, let's say, smokingpipes.com or pipesandscigars.com, just contact them and tell them that you have a pipe that has a very strong chemical smell. Now, why is this important? If you don't do this and you put tobacco in your pipe and you start to smoke it, about the first 2 or 3 puffs, you're going to get that strong chemical taste, and it will taint your tobacco. So you'll take it out and you'll go, what is going on? What's wrong with this pipe? Ew, what is that smell? Well, you've already put tobacco in it. You've already smoked the pipe. Some brick and mortar stores will not allow you to return it once the tobacco's been put in and you've smoked it. And there are some online places that will not allow you to return it either. But some you can work with if you call them and say, look, I didn't notice that this had this bad smell to it until after I put the tobacco in. Most will say, okay, send it back to us, we'll look at it, and we'll send you a new one. So, make sure that you smell the pipe for any type of strong chemical smell. If it has one, do not purchase the pipe. Send it back to where you got it from or give it back to your local tobacconist. All right, the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you've got a free airway. Now, you have to ask, if you're at a brick and mortar store, you need to ask before you put your lips on to the button here. A lot of places don't like people to try out their pipes. Some places have like a little sleeve that'll go over top of the bit where you can try it out and make sure that it's something that you want. So make sure and ask before you put your lips on the button here. But what you want to do is you want to breathe in and out through the bit here to make sure that you've got good airflow. And this one does. This one's got really good airflow. So, and I've already checked to make sure the alignment is good. So it's probably going to be a really good smoker. All right, well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it educational, and I hope you learned something. Until my next video, I want to wish you and your family happy piping.